Welcome back, everybody. Today we're doing a deep dive into AI, and
AI is everywhere.
it really is. It seems like it's touching everything. From, the global economy to like funny viral videos.
Just really having a moment.
It really is. So we're going to look at three big things today. First, Apple's huge investment in AI. What does that actually mean? Then over to China, we'll check out Alibaba and their plan for AI that can actually rival human intelligence.
Wow.
Right. And then, of course, we have to end with a little bit of fun. That viral video that sparked the debate about AI sentience.
I love that video.
Yeah.
It really shows how much AI is capturing the public imagination.
Yeah. And sometimes even leading to some misunderstandings.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, okay, so before we get to the robots taking over the world scenario, let's start with Apple. They just announced that they're going to be investing $500 billion over the next 4 years.
$500 billion.
$500 billion in AI development, silicon engineering, and workforce skills, which is like,
That's a lot of money.
it's a lot. $500 billion.
That's a huge sign that Apple sees AI as like the future.
Yeah.
And it's not just like throwing money at software.
Right.
They're building a massive new server manufacturing facility in Houston.
Yeah, 250,000 square foot facility. That's huge. I mean, Apple loves to have good design, so I can only imagine what this place is going to look like. What I find interesting is that they're building it in the U.S.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Apple has, they rely on overseas manufacturing.
Yeah.
This move to domestic production is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows they want more control over their supply chain.
Okay, so they're bringing jobs back to the U.S. and taking control over their tech. Do you think this could be like a trend?
It could be. I think this move could cause a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Maybe encouraging other tech companies to reconsider their manufacturing strategies.
Yeah.
It could lead to a boom in domestic tech production.
That would be interesting to see. So Apple's making big moves in the U.S., but across the world, Alibaba is focusing on something even bigger. Artificial general intelligence.
AGI. That's like the holy grail of AI research.
Yeah.
Creating AI that can really think like a human. Like learning, problem solving,
Right.
even being creative.
Okay, I gotta admit, AGI sounds a little sci-fi to me.
It does.
But Alibaba seems serious.
Oh, they are. Their CEO, Eddie Wu, has said that AGI is their top priority.
Really?
Yeah. And they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Uh-huh.
They're investing $50 billion.
$50 billion?
Yeah, over the next 3 years into cloud computing and AI infrastructure.
Wow, so even more than Apple. It seems like everybody is trying to win this AGI race.
They are.
Yeah.
It's a big race.
Yeah.
And the stakes are high.
Yeah.
Wu actually thinks that AGI could change every industry.
Every industry.
Yeah. Potentially automating 80% of tasks that humans do now.
80%. What does that even mean for the average person?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be a world where we're free from those boring tasks.
Right.
A world with amazing advancements in every field.
I like that.
But there's also concerns too.
Like what?
Well, will there even be jobs left for people?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. AGI could completely change the entire economic landscape.
Wow.
Some people think it could actually lead to more jobs in new industries.
Really?
Yeah. And others think that there will be tons of unemployment and problems in society.
It's like we're entering a whole new world.
We are.
And there's no map.
No.
It's exciting but scary at the same time.
It is. It is. And that's why we need to be having these conversations now.
Yeah.
We need to understand the good and the bad of AGI and think about the future we want to create.
Okay, so we've got Apple building their AI infrastructure here in the US. Alibaba is pushing the boundaries of AI intelligence over in China. Now, before we move on to our final source, I want to hear from you. What are you thinking so far? What stands out to you about this whole AI race? What excites you and what worries you? Let us know.
So we talked about Apple's and Alibaba's huge plans for AI, but now let's talk about something a little more exciting.
Not more sensational.
Yeah, exactly. Remember that video that went viral a while back? The one with the robot?
The one that seemed to get aggressive with the festival goer in China.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. That was a wild one.
Joe Rogan even talked about it on his podcast.
Oh, yeah, he did.
It really got a lot of people talking online.
A lot of people thought it was proof that AI was sentient.
Right, becoming self-aware. Okay, so in the video, it looks like the robot grabs the person's arm.
Uh-huh.
And Rogan even said that it had eerily human behavior.
But a lot of things that go viral online, the truth is a little less dramatic.
What actually happened? Well, it looks like the robot probably just tripped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a malfunction, not some sign of artificial consciousness.
So no robot uprising.
Not yet.
Okay, good.
But I think the whole thing shows how fast information can spread online,
Yeah.
especially misinformation. And especially when it comes to AI, which already kind of freaks people out.
It's true. We've seen so many movies about robots taking over.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we're already primed to see them as a threat.
It makes sense. But this also shows how important critical thinking is.
Absolutely.
They can't just believe everything we see online.
Exactly. Just because it looks real in a video doesn't mean that's actually what happened.
Right.
We have to question sources, you know?
Yeah.
Look for evidence.
That's hard, though, isn't it?
It is.
Especially when you have someone like Joe Rogan who has millions of followers sharing this video.
Right.
And giving his opinion on it. That can be really influential.
It definitely can.
It makes me think about how much responsibility people with big platforms have.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's up to us to be careful about what we believe.
Yeah.
And this goes for everything we see online, not just videos about robots.
Right.
It's so easy to get caught up in the hype.
It is.
We need to slow down and really think about things before we share them or form opinions.
And remember, AI is still really new.
Yeah.
There's going to be mistakes, and people will misunderstand things.
Like that time the chess-playing robot broke a kid's finger.
Oh, yeah.
That was scary.
It was. But that was more of a human error or a glitch.
Okay.
Not because the robot was trying to hurt anyone.
So how can we avoid these kinds of misunderstandings in the future?
Well, I think we need to learn more about AI.
Okay.
The more we know how it works, the less likely we are to be fooled by those scary stories or, misinterpret what it's doing.
It's also about knowing our own biases, right? Like you said, we've seen so many movies about robots taking over.
Yeah.
It's easy to see a video like that and freak out.
Definitely. We have to be aware of our own thoughts and how they might be affecting what we see.
So be skeptical, but not like doomsday.
Right.
Just understand how AI actually works.
Exactly.
Okay, so before we finish up this deep dive, let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
We've talked about Apple, Alibaba, viral videos, and why it's important to think critically.
And it's all connected.
It is.
Yeah, it's all part of the same story. AI is growing fast, and it's changing our world.
And it's just going to keep getting bigger in the years to come.
Definitely. That's why it's so important to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
We have to talk about its potential, the problems it might cause, and make sure it's being developed in a way that's good for everyone.
Okay, so as we come to the end of this deep dive, what are the key takeaways you want our listeners to remember? So AI, it's everywhere, and it's changing so fast.
It really is. I mean, it's not just some far off thing anymore. It's here right now, and it's changing our lives in big ways.
So it's not just like robots taking our jobs or,
Well, I mean, that's a big topic,
Yeah.
People think about it a lot. But we got to remember AI is a tool.
Okay.
Like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It really depends on us, how we use it.
So it's not like we're just along for the ride.
No, not at all. We need to understand it. We need to be a part of this conversation. We have to shape how AI develops so it's good for everyone.
Yeah. And you mentioned that huge investment Apple's making.
Yeah.
A lot of that is going to helping people learn new skills.
Right. For the jobs of the future.
The jobs of the future.
Yeah. AI is going to change the kinds of jobs out there. So we got to be ready.
So it's not just about the technology itself.
No.
It's about making sure people are ready for the changes.
Exactly. And it's not just about jobs. It's about education, ethics.
Yeah.
Making sure AI is used in a good way.
Right. So we talked about some of the potential problems with AI, especially AGI. Like what happens if robots take all the jobs?
Yeah, that's a big one.
But then I keep thinking about that viral video. The one that wasn't actually what it seemed. It makes me wonder, are we sometimes overreacting when it comes to AI?
I think it's good to be a little skeptical.
Yeah.
Because AI is powerful. But we don't need to get hysterical. We need to look at it from all sides.
Yeah.
See the good and the bad.
Like any new technology, right?
Exactly. There's always a learning curve.
Yeah.
We got to be careful, but also open-minded.
Be open to what AI could do.
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
AI could help us solve climate change or cure diseases.
Yeah.
It could change industries, create jobs, and make our lives better in tons of ways.
That sounds amazing.
It does.
But it's up to us to make sure it's used for good.
It is. It really is. So what now? What can our listeners do to, stay in the loop with all this?
Yeah. What can they do?
Well, I think the most important thing is to be curious. Read about it.
Okay.
Listen to podcasts. Go to talks. There's so much information out there about AI.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to ask questions. The more we understand AI, the better we'll be able to deal with it.
So be curious, ask questions, and maybe don't freak out when you see a crazy video on the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Not everything you see online is true. Think critically, and remember that AI is a tool. We have the power to decide how it's used.
Well said. This has been a fascinating deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Keep learning about AI, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.